Alright, what is it good, everybody? Quancredible here with a review for Four Knights of Apocalypse Chapter 39. And right off the bat, we have a beautiful color spread here. Like, the color spread here with, like, freaking Percival and his group looks amazing. We have another color page of the new, like, I guess Gother's new outfit, or how Gother looks now. Kind of like a more, like, goth Gother. That's kind of hard to say, actually. But we do have that. But before I get into the actual review, we do have tons of news regarding, like, the Four Knights of Apocalypse and Seven Deadly Sins movies, stuff like that coming for next year. So if you do want to be kept up to date on that, make sure you check out my other videos regarding, like, the trailer breakdowns, as well as some screenshots. There's a lot of fun information coming. I'm not going to really talk about it in the video because I want this to be a review, but I just wanted to make you guys aware of it if you weren't already. So into the chapter, we have Gother transforming back into his original form, or I guess not really transforming back, because we find out that it was an illusion. Basically, he makes it to where anyone within 10 miles of him will see him as this old man, which is like mad crazy. Gother's abilities with, like, illusions and influencing people's minds and, like, perceptions must have gotten, like, significantly better over the course of these 16 years, I would assume. But Gother does reveal to Ard that he is one of the members of the Seven Deadly Sins, as he steals back the crystal from him that has all of the demons in it. And of course, Ard is a bit confused as to why Gother is just, you know, hanging out with these demons. And Gother just does say he's just trying to give them a peaceful place to live outside of Britannia and the demon realm, which, I mean, is fair. Gother didn't really have, like, a big, like, he didn't have a big end goal like everybody else did, all like that. Like, it's not like he had, like, a person he wanted to be with, like, say Ban or Meliodas or King and, like, Diane. He didn't really have some big grand outstanding goal like Merlin per se. So Gother kind of probably just does whatever he wants to do in this, like, free time after the Holy War. And of course, Ard knows he can't beat Gother in an actual fight, so he does the only thing that he really does do really well, which is run away. Ard is definitely the king of running away, but I'm definitely not mad at him on this one, because I really wouldn't want to fight against Gother either, considering how his powers work. He does grab Percival as well as Annie on, I guess, this, like, outskirt on the cliffside from the cave, and we see the bird from earlier looking at them, and this bird is like, what a surprise, I traced this huge magic presence from out of nowhere, and just look at what I found. And this is interesting because I myself, as well as I'm pretty sure a lot of other people, assume that that bird that we saw earlier was with the old man, or that we now know is Gother. However, it does appear that this bird is definitely with someone else, and this someone else has to be someone related to the Chaos Knights, in my honest opinion, or related to Arthur, I guess, in some way, shape, or form. Gother does catch up to Ardberg, and Ardberg is basically threatening to throw Percival off of the canyon to kill him, and I guess, you know, completing his goal. However, Gother does appear to have Ardberg's baby. I'm not entirely for sure how he even did this. I'm pretty sure one of Gother's thing now is he's much better at just, I guess, like, random casting AoE spells without people even realizing that they're in them. So this is 100% an illusion, because as we know, you can't really bring people back to life. So he does allow Ardberg to see his daughter Connie again, to which Ardberg is, of course, like, overjoyed. This is, like, the main thing he wanted, is just to see his daughter again, which is really, really, really important to him. It was also kind of funny because he just, like, threw down Percival, but he set Annie down really gently. I thought that was, like, a small funny touch. Ardberg does agree to undo the spell on everybody back at the grotto, and then he does start to, I guess, talk about how he even ended up in this place to begin with. And then we get more of a continuation on his flashback, with Arthur being there, and Arthur kind of being the one to kind of guide him into, I guess, Arthur's fold, saying that he needed Ardberg's power, which at first I thought was kind of weird that Arthur was there, because, like, Ardberg's village had been, like, destroyed by demons, and, like, I would have assumed that, like, all of the demons would have been gone after the Holy War. But I guess when I really think about it, there probably were just some scragglers just around that they probably did kill. It's not like they exterminated every single demon in Britannia. So there probably was a couple remnants, and there probably was, like, this little afterwards cleanup period, I would imagine. But it does look like that Arthur could have potentially been going around Britannia and recruiting humans that could have awakened their magic from, I guess, the traumatic experiences of being attacked by demons. Because as we know in Seven Deadly Sins, this has happened before, where people will awaken their magic after a traumatic experience. However, during the end of these two conversations, Gother does send two very powerful magic spears on their way to their location, and of course one is aimed directly at Percival. And this moment was so dope because it just reminds me of that Gil Thunder moment back from like the very first season or the very beginning of Seven Deadly Sins. It's literally like this is legitly paying homage to that, and it was just so dope to see again because the art does look really amazing. And Gunther does save Percival in time, but the other spear, oddly enough, was aimed at Annie, which is very interesting because I'm not for sure exactly why they would want to kill Annie. It makes you think that maybe she has some type of extra importance to her, like maybe her mom was somebody really important and that they're trying to get her out of the way. Or maybe something along those lines. Maybe Ironside was the one who threw these, so he just wants to take out Annie too, because Annie was one of the ones who was fighting him like directly. I don't know. It's very interesting on why she was targeted. Also, there's definitely a lot to speculate on that one. However, Ardberg does put down the illusion of his baby, and he does take the spear for Annie, which he has an entire hole blown through him, so he's definitely not going to live that one, which was really sad because that was the end of the chapter with essentially Ardberg's death. And we did get this somewhat redeeming moment for Ardberg, is that he really wasn't a bad dude. And I believe this is something along the lines of what I was saying in my last reviews, that Arthur isn't really a bad guy. He just kind of caught up in all of this. So as for next chapter, the magic is 100% going to be undone, seeing as Ardberg is dying, so he's not going to be able to maintain his spell. Most spells typically do go away when the user dies, so that will definitely be a thing. Now, I'm not for sure how the entire crew is going to react to this. I know Annie's going to be really upset. Like, she's definitely going to be sad. However, I also think this is going to bother Percival as well, that Arthur and the Chaos Knights would even be willing to kill their own just to get to them. I feel like this is going to be one of those moments where, like, in shonen series where the villain does do something to their own group or their own team, and then the main character also gets really mad at that, and it's like a driving force for them. Like, there's always a early death in the series that typically does drive a main character forward, and I feel like this could potentially be the one for Percival. Of course, outside of his granddad, obviously Varghese was a huge driving factor for Percival and still is, but this could just be another one to reinforce it, is what I'm thinking. And then there is still the mystery of this bird. I definitely do believe this bird was related to these spears being thrown at them. Like, maybe the bird is like a familiar of someone. I'm definitely still holding on to that one. Next chapter, I do hope we get a lot of the emotional moments that I was just talking about, as well as I really do want to see Gowther potentially fill in a little bit of gaps here and there for what could have been happening in the 16 years in between the end of the Holy War and the beginning of Four Nights of Apocalypse. So all in all, I thought the chapter was pretty good. It was a little slow, but seeing Gowther in action and seeing his new form, or not new form, but I guess new appearance, was always it was just dope to see, because that's one of the main things I wanted to see after last chapters. I really wanted to see what his actual appearance would be. So I would definitely give this chapter like 7.5. Yeah, probably 7.5 is probably a very fair rating for this one. Let me know how you guys feel about the chapter, as well as what you guys think is going to happen next week. Do you guys think we're going to get more of the backstory for the in-between time? Do you think we're just going to get more on Gowther? Do you think we're going to move away from this entirely? Or do you think something completely different? I'm very curious to know what you guys think and how you guys felt about it. Make sure you guys like the video, as well as subscribe to the channel for more content. Like I was saying in the beginning, make sure you check out some of my other stuff talking about the Seven Deadly Sins Grudge of Edinburgh movie. I am covering a lot of the information on it, so you should definitely check that out if you want to stay up to date on that as well. Aside from that, I have nothing else for you guys. So you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you all in my next video.